Who would believe that going to a White House holiday party could change a person's life? Well, it did. My cousin had worked very hard during Obama's campaign and was personally invited to the party. I was the lucky person who got to tag along as his guest. I had no idea I would be so profoundly affected by this experience. We'll begin the story just outside the White House the evening of the party, December 4th, 2009. The U.S. Treasury Department is a gigantic building just to the left of the White House. This is the Capitol building in the background, and very near this area is where we waited outside the White House for about an hour before going in. After 3 ID checks and a metal check, we're finally inside, and what a warm welcome we had. When we were checking our coats, we heard angels singing in the background. Everything was beautiful, including the ladies' lounge. We're still on the basement level. Here's a room with a Christmas tree up to the ceiling. This woman in the library was so flattered that we wanted her in the picture. Somehow I missed seeing this room, but my cousin snapped a good picture of it. These honor guards couldn't have been more welcoming. They stood there with big smiles on their faces, happy to greet us. When we first entered the White House, we were offered a glass of champagne, and now I'm ready to go upstairs to the main floor. This was my stairway to heaven. When I reached the top of the stairs and took a right, I was standing in this magnificent room. I was nearly brought to tears by its beauty and grandeur. I felt all kinds of emotions, like pride, humility, and gratitude. And what surprised me was that I felt that I belonged there and that I had come back home, back to my roots. For the first time in my life, I felt connected to government and knew that I was an important part of this country. And there was something special about the room itself that empowered me with an inner strength that I still feel. We were lucky to be among the first guests to enter the White House because we got to see all of the rooms empty before they filled up. A choir serenaded us from a corner of that large room. At the opposite end of the White House, this gentleman was serenading us with his guitar. The food at this White House holiday party was absolutely delicious and fit for a queen. This is the seafood table. The beef at this table was so tender you could cut it with a fork. We discovered the turkey table as we were getting ready to leave the party, so we had to sit down and have another meal. And the desserts were delectable delights, including very large chocolate-covered strawberries. Every room on the main floor was colorful and elegant. Nearly every wall had a painting of a former president or first lady. This painting of Hilary was my favorite. If you were to walk in the front door of the White House, this is what you would see. 2 big Christmas trees on either side of that door, and then another Christmas tree inside that other room, probably up to the ceiling. I hope I went in that room. This gentleman was playing the piano very softly in the background in the foyer. And now we're gathering in the foyer to greet President and Mrs. Obama. As my cousin was guiding me towards the podium so I'd have a good view, I glanced up and saw this very tall window. Just moments before the Obamas descended the staircase hand in hand, a wheelchair was pushed up alongside me, opening up the perfect bird's eye view.
It is great to see all you guys. Yes, it's all right.
No red cards.
Dancing on the table. We're thrilled to see so many great friends during this holiday season. We've got friends in labor. We've got friends. Some of you know that we got that story from Greenwood, South Carolina.
Yeah.
From a city councilwoman down there named Edith Childs. Edith, are you fired up? Now listen, let me say this. Obviously we come together during the holiday season to remind ourselves of what's important. And the reason that we wanted to make sure that our first Christmas parties were with you is because we wouldn't be here if it weren't for you. What is even more important to us is that you're the reason I ran. You could trust, if you voted for me, that I would carry you with me to the White House. Now, I meant during the course of the campaign, all the living rooms and backyards and the rallies and the organizing meetings that we had, and how everybody invested so much into this project. Now, decisions that we're making are resulting in a situation where not only have we overcome the worst financial crisis since the Great Depression, not only are we dealing with a whole host of issues in the financial markets, but we're now laying the foundation through education, through energy, and through a health care package that can make sure that we move into the 21st century assured that the lives of our children and our grandchildren can be better than our lives, which is the essence of the American dream and what all of you represent.
This is my new friend, Glenda Snow, who is the lady in the wheelchair responsible for me having a bird's eye view. After the president's talk, he and Michelle walked along the rope line greeting us individually. Here's Michelle talking to Glenda. I shook Michelle's hand and then she hugged the man next to me to my left. You can see me on the right. I had the opportunity to gaze into her beautiful face. She is a gorgeous woman. It was a heart-melting experience for me. Next came President Obama. He looked me in the eyes as he shook my hand. I told him that I was there as a guest of my cousin. He looked at my cousin and waved, and excitedly said, "I'm so glad you could come." After the Obamas left, we decided it was time for us to leave also. We spotted this Remington bronze statue on the way out. We had enjoyed the party for about 2 hours before deciding to leave. I guess Glenda had the same idea. What a fabulous party that was! A once-in-a-lifetime experience that I'll cherish forever. Now we're ready to make our 45-minute trek on the metro back to our hotel in Gaithersburg, Maryland.